Hey, what's up guys? I did another video showing how to make some good homemade Italian sauce or Italian gravy or spaghetti sauce or tomato sauce, whatever you want to call it. And that's what it is. And I figured since I'm already making this for the sauce, I might as well film it. And this is just making homemade meatballs. Now you can use these meatballs in anything, but in my case, I'm going to make them. I'm going to brown them in the oven and then I'm going to put it in the sauce so it can cook for hours on end and just turn into something amazingly delicious. So here's what we need for this, at least for mine. Ground beef, I think that would be an obvious choice. This is 2.81 pounds, all right? So, let's break into this. Pop that in there. Oh. Make sure we get no plastic. That does not add flavor. It will add texture, but not a texture you want. All right, so first ingredient obviously is gonna be our ground beef, all right? Now this ground beef is 85% lean, so it's a little bit more on the fattier side. If you get something that's really lean, obviously it won't have as much fat, but flavor does come from the fat. This will, as it cooks in the sauce, will leak out in the sauce a little bit. It's not totally unhealthy or anything like that. It's just I prefer to use a less lean ground beef for this. All right, so to our ground beef, we want some breadcrumbs. I always eyeball stuff. All right, so we want that much. That's perfect. Nope, that's perfect. All right, on top of that, we want some garlic powder. Healthy little shake. We want a little bit of onion powder. Nice little shake there. Okay, now we want some fresh chopped white onion as well as some parsley. Okay, now the parsley is kind of rough cut, you know, nothing too fine. Roll that in. Okay, black pepper. It's better if it's fresh cracked, but don't have it, so use what you got. You also want some salt. Just gonna do 1 pinch of sea salt, coarse sea salt. All right, then some cheese. Actually, no, I lied. Before the cheese, we want a little bit more garlic. Okay, but use some fresh garlic. In this case, I'm using some jarred minced garlic. All right, so about a spoonful. All right, now onto some cheese. I got the same Lucatelli Romano cheese that I'm using in my sauce. Good stuff. So don't get shy with the cheese. Definitely adds a lot of flavor to this. And stop. Okay. That's enough cheese. What else? We need a binder. So we have an egg. And a secret ingredient, feta cheese. What? Yeah, absolutely. Hey, don't knock it till you try it. So, let's sprinkle in some feta. All right. Took a little piece of my mouth and I was trying to talk. That's why they came out funny. All right, so that's pretty much it. Now we just kind of got to get in there, get dirty, mix it all together nice and evenly. Then we're gonna make some round meatballs, which I'll just show you, why not. All right, so roll up your sleeves, go wash your hands. Okay, no one wants your dirty fingers in their food. So make sure your hands are nice and clean. Then get in there and start mixing. All right, it's the only way it's gonna happen. It's a food of love. Make sure everything gets mixed up nice and evenly. Okay. Now there is a fine line. You don't want to, over mix your meat. You can make meat tough if you tend to, play with it too much. So stop playing with your meat so much, and you'll be fine. But we do want to incorporate all these ingredients nice and evenly in here. Okay. Make sure you don't get one mouthful of onion and then one mouthful of, you know, herbs. You want everything to be nice and even. Okay, so there's no real technique here. I'm just kind of pinching and pulling it apart, mushing it back together. In fact, hang on just a second. I will be right back because I need a second egg. I didn't realize how much meat I had here. So, hang on just a minute. It's another thing, guys. Every time you touch raw meat of any kind, go wash your hands. Don't start touching stuff. You know, you touch the refrigerator door, and all of a sudden you got raw meat on it. You forget about it. Later on, you go to get, you know, drink or something, and you touch it again. Who knows? Maybe you suck on your finger for whatever reason you may be doing that, and then you have some issues. So always wash your hands. All right. So there's our second egg. All right. Now let's get back in here. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so incorporate everything real nice like. All right, our meat is mixed up pretty much as good as it's going to get. I just have a throwaway pan here, and just want to scoop a little bit. You can make your meatballs as big or as small as you want. I kind of like a medium size. I don't like them to be too big. You know, each meatball is roughly 2 bites. All right, so grab one, kind of roll it in your hand, make a ball shape. I like to make them pretty consistent. Now when you first squeeze it in your hand, you want to flatten it out pretty good as you're rolling it. This way it'll bind together very nicely and it won't fall apart when it's cooking. All right, they don't have to be perfect, not a competition or anything. That's basically what it looks like. It's a ball of meat. What do you know? That's why they call it a meatball. All right, line it in your pan. By the way, in your bottom of your pan, you want to put a little bit of olive oil, which I will do in a second. But just continue this until you have no more meat. All right, prep all our meatballs. And then when I'm done with that, I will go on to the next step. So I will be right back. All right, guys, see how far those coils are from the rack? It's not the, the closest, the top setting, but I always do one below. And here's my tray of meatballs. And yes, there's a lot of them here. It's a lot of meat. But I'm just going to slide them in, and I'm going to let them brown. And after a couple of minutes, when the tops are all brown stuff, I'll roll them around and move them around to make sure the whole circumference is nice and toasty golden. But we're not cooking these all the way through. Remember, they're going to cook in the sauce. So we just want to get some nice color on it. So I'll show you what that looks like when I'm all done. Alright, so the tops are getting nice and brown. A lot of the fat is dripping off. Originally I mentioned using olive oil on the tray. Don't even bother. I usually do them on the stovetop. This is the first time I'm trying it like this. Anyway, you want to flip them over because obviously the other sides are still, light and pasty looking. So you want to get them nice and brown evenly all the way around. So I'm just going to continue to do this and flip these guys over. And I'll get back with you when they are all done. I think they be done. Yeah, look at that. Oh, let me grab my other oven mitt. Not very manly looking, but it's okay. I won't get burned. Alright. So, there's the finished product. Okay, golden brown. That are only about halfway cooked through. The insides are still going to be a little bit pink. Okay, but that's okay because we're cooking the rest of the way in the sauce. Alright. Obviously I can't show that until the sauce is done. But basically this is how you make meatballs. Alright, if you wanted to, if you don't want to cook them in your sauce and you want to just put them on top, I would now take this off a broil and I'm going to put it on 375, lower the rack a little bit, and just let them cook all the way through. And if you know how long that takes, just take one after a few minutes and cut it in half and see how pink the inside is, or maybe how cooked it is, and cook them to your liking. But I am definitely throwing these in the sauce so they get all delicious and yummy. So anyway, that's all. That's how I make meatballs. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.